Hello and welcome to Live Code Happy Hour for August 5th, 2020. I'm Andrew Barnes, and we are here at ServiceNow, and we are going to do some live coding on the show today. We've got some friends with us here, the usual suspects, but let's go ahead and do introductions, starting with Brad.
Hello, my name's Brad Tilton, and I am a developer advocate with the developer program here at ServiceNow. I have been doing some sort of development on ServiceNow for about 12 years and been an employee for the last 4-ish. And today should be fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Brad. And Chuck?
Hey, my name is Chuck Tomasi, Senior Developer Evangelist at ServiceNow. Been here for just over 10 years and a customer for a couple before that. Wonderful day.
Awesome. Thank you, Chuck. I'm Andrew Barnes, Developer Advocate here at ServiceNow. Coming up on my 2-year anniversary here in a couple of weeks, I think. Been on the platform for 6 years, at a couple of customers and an implementation partner, and really just enjoy in building on the platform and engaging with our developer community. And so super excited to be here with you fine folks today. Let us introduce our beverages of choice today. Brad?
All right. So it's summer, pretty hot here. I have a Carbach Vivacella. It's like a salt and lime beer. It's pretty good.
That sounds good. Good summer drink. Put a little tequila in there.
And what do you have, Chuck?
I went back to the well. I am back to the Moosehead Grapefruit Radler that I had a few weeks ago. So it was very delicious. I saw the nice tall pink can staring at me and went, that'll do.
And I am drinking the last one of this vendor, the Edmund Oast's Sour Apricot Peach. I think I've had this one on the show. All of the ones from that all look the same to me, and they all taste wonderful. So I'm really sad that this is my last one, and I don't know when I'll get any more because I can't find them anywhere. So on this show, we do live code development. None of it is prescripted. We don't do any pre-canned demos or anything. So we take real cases that we want to work on and then show them to you. So while we have a goal and objective for the show, and we even sometimes reach it, the how we get there and how we problem solve through it is the fun part. And is what I think is my favorite part of the show, is the showing of how we get through the things when they're not working exactly right. Because a polished, beautiful thing at the end is nice, but it doesn't teach you a lot if that's all you see is the polished, beautiful thing at the end. Today, we are in our Paris early access time. So the current family release is Orlando, but the early access is Paris. And we are going to do some not super developer-y work today. We're going to do some admin work because we don't have an admin on our team. It's just us developers. And so we have to do some of our own admin work. And what we're going to do today is subprod instances. So we operate our own instances for our program, and we've upgraded one of those. And now we need to go through the upgrade, post-upgrade checklist steps so that we can get ready for upgrading our production level instance. And while we're doing that, we're going to show and highlight some of the improvements in Paris. We'll probably mention some of the other ones that have come along as well, that are available in Paris while we're doing that. So anything else we want to cover before we hop into there? Yeah, let's today, but these fine gentlemen, Chuck has got a new podcast called Breakpoint, and Brad was his first guest on Breakpoint, and they're talking about resources for becoming a ServiceNow developer, right?
We get
Want
started.
to tell us a little more about it and how to get it, Chuck?
Yeah, it's a discussion Brad and I had a few days ago, how to get started as a ServiceNow developer. So if you've got colleagues out there that are admins or developers on other platforms, this is a great discussion. It's only about 20 minutes, so it won't chew up a whole lot of your time. If you listen like me at 1.5 or 2 times the speed, good luck listening to me because I tend to talk fast. Going to sound really fast. But you can find it. The easiest way is a bit.ly link, sn-break-point, and that will take you to the main page on our hosting provider. From there, you will see where it is on Apple Podcasts, or you go look directly. It's now listed on Apple, Google, Spotify. You get the
Your
idea.
podcast source of choice, really.
The major players are out there. If you've got a directory that you want to see it on, let us know. I'm sure I can submit it. So,
all right.
bit.ly
So I'll add that
SN.
bit.ly link to the description of this
Sure.
YouTube channel for everybody. Maybe one of y'all can throw it in the chat, but I'll make sure it gets in the description as well after the show.
Getting some great response. We socialized it this morning. So thank you to everybody who's been retweeting that and subscribing and downloading and listening. There will be more every other Wednesday.
Smash those subscribe buttons. I don't think I've ever said that on the show before.
T-shirt.
But that was just for funny because it makes me laugh. Because nearly all those YouTubers out there are like, go and smash that subscribe button right now.
Oh, is that what we're supposed to do now? Okay.
No, please don't. So I'll go ahead and start screen share, and we'll get going through our upgrade process.
I'm watching closely because I just upgraded a couple of instances too.
All right. So hopefully things look good. Brad, give me a little thumbs up.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I have our sub-production instance loaded here. And what I've done is we've already scheduled and run the upgrade. So this is sort of that next step is after the upgrade's completed, I want to come and look at the upgrade summary in the upgrade monitor. You'll notice over here, once you upgrade to Paris, that the upgrade monitor has gotten updated to say legacy. And there is a new area called Upgrade Center in which the improved monitor has been placed. If you load the legacy page, it'll give you this little helpful message that says, hey, this page still works. You can use this, but come on over here to the new experience. So I'm going to open that up so that we can sort of look at the differences between those two things.
And I assume it's probably just setting a user preference to say which you want to go left or right.
A user preference to
when you say click here to switch to the new, or maybe it is just a redirect. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that just opens the page.
Okay.
So, ultimately, this old legacy upgrade monitor will go away, and you'll just use the one under the upgrade center that we're going to check out today. So you can see here, we've got our new upgrade monitor. Right off the bat, you may notice that the name of the upgrade gets the nice name version difference.
Nice.
So that's nice that it
actually
uses the human readable name version of the upgrade. That's super nice right up off the start. Shows you the duration, which is on the other one as well. And I'll show you a little bit in a bit something more interesting that will be in that area. I really am a fan of this new area of aggregating the documentation that they think I need for this upgrade. So these 3 links here, view the fixed problems, the personalized release notes, and the known error portal for the particular family and patch that you've gotten is, I think, a really nice thing, because I want those and I go and find them myself every time, but it's nice to put them all there together for me.
Mhm.
The next thing you'll notice is we've got some nice dashboards here to show us a few interesting bits here. The total record changes is not super important. Like, I never pay attention to that number because unless it's egregiously high or egregiously low, like if I saw it say the number 4, I would be concerned. Or 1,000,000. But anything else, I'm like, whatever. I don't care.
You scrolled by a little button on the right.
I did, and we're going to go right
I'm
back up to it in a moment.
Okay.
We're going to spend some time on that button.
All right.
So it shows me a little summary of my skipped records. So if you've not ever done a ServiceNow upgrade, the skipped record, what that is these are, when you get an upgrade, what happens is ServiceNow pulls down the upgraded version to your instance, and then does a comparison between all of the application files in the upgrade and all the application files you have. And it does a comparison, a diff, to see which ones have changed. And then of the ones that's changed, the next step it does is it says, hey, is the customer has touched this, and I can't remember the exact tag. There's a field name for it, but basically it's customer has touched this, so don't mess with it during upgrade time. And that happens whenever you, as a developer, go and modify any of the ServiceNow provided application files. That record automatically gets flagged as saying, hey, don't mess with this at upgrade time. And then that is what generates this skipped list record, is the ones that you have modified and that's changed from ServiceNow since the last time you upgraded. So you can see we don't have that many. We only have 7 in this instance because most of our stuff is completely custom apps. We group them in priorities. So depending on the type of change and the application record type, it will have different priorities. You can see all of ours are low priority, 7. This is a brand new feature here, this skip records by product. So we're detecting which application file for a given application file, which product that is associated with. And in the event that it doesn't know which one it's associated with, it will associate it to the plugin. So it'll tell you the name of the plugin. If it doesn't know, that it's ITSM or ITBM or Now Platform, it'll just give you the name of the plugin. And then one of the coolest things, and we're going to see this some more and when I go press that button, is it lets us know now whether or not a script field has been adjusted or not. And that just fills my heart with joy. Having the number of skipped records that I have reviewed in my ServiceNow career has been a lot of them, a whole lot of them. And for many of the application file types, I really only want to know whether or not the script field's been modified, because if it hasn't, I don't care about that skipped record for some of the application file types. And a different kind of person, a different skill set is needed for whether or not there's been a code change or not. Right?
I like the unable to determine category.
So that is really exciting to me, is that code changed versus code hasn't changed, so that I can do the assignments differently. And then the last thing I'm going to point out before we go look at the scroll up again is one thing I want to point out is we didn't have any automated tests that are running automatically here. But when you're doing your upgrade, whatever your testing process is, do that first prior to your upgrade. So do your fresh clone, then do whatever testing process you have, whether that's ATF or Selenium or humans or whatever it is. Record the results of that test, and then after the upgrade, redo your tests.
Yeah, because it's really easy to say after the upgrade, oh, look at all this stuff that broke when it may have been broke
Exactly.
before the upgrade.
And so we're surfacing the results of ATFs here on the Upgrade Center page, if you have any that will run from that. So as Chuck pointed out, we've got this new thing that I scrolled right past, which is the skipped records. And there's a skip record VTB. And VTB stands for Visual Task Board. And that's going to open us up a visual task board to manage those skipped record tasks. So there's a whole new record that has been created for Paris that corresponds to an existing record. And I'll show you what that looks like. So if I go over here to the upgrade history, and then we do upgrade for this one.
And this is the way that I've often approached this problem in the past.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so this is the upgrade history record where I have all of these different categories of skipped, changes to review, and then whether or not they've been reviewed or not. The customization's unchanged. So this is things that you have modified, but ServiceNow didn't change in this family version, so you don't necessarily need to review them. So these are application files that you have modified, but that ServiceNow didn't change for us from Orlando to Paris. And for you, it'll be whatever family version you're coming from to going to. And so this record, if we go take a look at this table, this is the sys upgrade history log table. And we have generated for this VTB an equivalent, so a paired record on a new table that I will try and remember the table name, but it's basically sys history task is what it is. So it's a task entry for every one of these skipped record, these system upgrade log entries. We created a task for them, and they're paired together, and they will stay in sync. So if you make a change on one of them, so if you half your dev team uses the old way and half the dev team uses the new way, they stay in sync. So this VTB will show you the same thing all the time, which is nice.
Nice.
So I have, for the purposes of some screenshots earlier this week, I actually put these into
those were not real results yet.
Yeah, I hadn't actually reviewed any of those, but I wanted to take a screenshot. And so this is what it would have looked like just right after the upgrade without me having touched it. And one thing I didn't notice was I forgot to
assign them all to Fred Lucky.
I did this in our production instance, but I forgot to do it here in the sub-production, which is remove a bunch of these admin rolled folks that shouldn't have it.
Aha, that's why they all showed up.
And so that list is populated with all of the admin entries.
Wait a minute. I saw Fred and Kristen and a whole bunch of others up there.
They must be in a group or something.
Is there an upgrade admin?
Go check. Go open Fred and see what he's got.
I think
It looks like ITIL. No, not necessarily.
I think that those got populated. So I think I did fix it, but those are populated when the board was created.
Okay.
So when I said I did it in production, I didn't do it in dev, I think I lied. I think I did it in both. And this list is populated when the VTB is created. So I could go and remove these people, but I don't actually care, so I'm not going to. But what you can do here is, if you haven't used VTBs, one of the great things about them is when you're assigning these tasks, you can just, grab a person and drag them onto it. So Brad gets to go and review this one. And I can use these labels to help me, right? So I can do it by product, or in our case, maybe I wanted to do by does not include code or includes code. And that just narrows down the application file types. And then there is the one with the for the code changes.
I think you can use the switches on the right too.
Yes. So those work the same way. So we can toggle those on and off. Oh no, that
just turns on and off the cards.
That turns them on and off, and
basically disables them.
Does the filter?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I can filter my list and say, oh, okay, all of these that are filtered, poof, Andrew gets them.
So Sam has a question. It says, is the scoped application, will that be in the list of skipped records? You have a scope app.
That's a really good question. And no, a scoped application will not show up in my ServiceNow upgrade history list. Where it will show up is here in this sys upgrade history log, or those are the records. I want the upgrade history. So if I go to the upgrade history, for a scoped app, when it gets updated, whether or not the scoped app is from the store or from the internal app repo, it really doesn't matter the source. Its entries show up in the system upgrades table. So if you install a plugin or a scoped app, it will, and then update them, the update will show up here as its own entry from the old version to the new version, and will contain the details of that version upgrade, and can absolutely contain skip changes. And so when that could happen is when you have a store app that you have modified, and then you update that version of the store app, you're going to get skipped entries. And you need to review those just the same as you do for upgrades for the whole platform. You need to do those for updates to versions for scoped apps. Excellent question, though.
That is an excellent question, because I think I've been victim of that in the past. Like, hey, I just changed this in dev, published it, and installed it. Why am I not seeing all of my installed things?
And so now we're ready to do the work. So let's do the work. So we've got this task, and I have been assigned this task. So I am now going to work this task. So I'm going to open up the record that has been assigned to me to work, and I'm going to review it. And so this is usage analytics count configuration. Let's go resolve the conflicts. So that's going to open up our diff window. It's going to say I'm not authorized. That's hilarious. Apparently I don't have the authorization to fix this. But let's take a look at the difference anyway. There's a microcert for that. So here is on the left is what we have, and here on the right is the new one. I believe that this is the new one.
Yeah.
No, up here it says customize and this says base system. I don't believe those are the correct labels. So I suspect that this left one is what this record exists right now, and we can go check that. So line 17, we'll see if it contains a add aggregate or a new query.
No query.
Let's go verify that. So if I go to this previous screen and then where's my handy dandy go to record? Where's the go to record? Oh, that's going to make me sad. I'm going to open this in a new window then. Because I believe that's a UI action that's just not rendering for me. No, where is it? I thought it was right here. To get to that record.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't exist.
Y'all know
on
what
the
I'm
task.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
Normally it's right. Oh,
it wasn't on the resolve conflicts one.
Maybe
I need
do you
to
have to
go to
go
the
over to
actual-
the
yeah.
skip
if
record?
I go to this one.
There.
Different view.
That seems like a thing I'm going to ask for to fix. Usage analytics count.
It's a good share app idea for anybody for
Second one, I think.
This one.
Well, he's got some skipped error stuff too.
No, it's not showing it me.
Correlated
either.
record.
Oh, yeah, it is. I saw two of them and I was sad.
Okay, line 17 has an add aggregate.
Oh, so it was
the
labeled
last
correctly.
one. Yep. Well, it said customized, and I don't really care for that title. Because isn't this the new updated one on the right?
So they both have add aggregate.
Right, but there's like 4 lines missing.
Yeah.
So the new updated one is the one on the left, apparently.
Okay.
Which is not normally the flow I expect. I expect to see what I have on the left and the new thing on the right.
Right, old and new.
And they're telling you this thing on the left is like this is the system one, and then the thing on the right is your customized one.
Right.
It is a little backwards.
But this is new.
Feeling.
Like this is new stuff. It's now the system, but it wasn't before. So I'm going to I don't have it's a read-only one. So I can't do anything other than just revert it. So I couldn't merge this one, for example.
Right.
So I'm going to revert to base system. So let's do that.
Which is kind of a merge, right? Because the only difference was it had 4 new lines.
Yeah. Effectively, it was a merge.
Yeah.
So your VTB. You could have reverted from there too. Revert to base system.
Yep, I could have from here. I just, was already on that other screen. So I've done that one. Yay! And you can see my VTB has been updated to see it's over there. One other thing, just because it's funsies, we can raise the priority because these are lanes.
Because the incident list layout was terribly important.
I wonder how do I hide this? Yeah.
Hide lane.
I want to hide these that I don't actually have anything for. Just because it's bothering me.
You can't use them. How do you bring them back?
I have no idea how to get them back. Now I want to know how I get them back because that's funny. How do I get them back?
You'll never see them again.
They've been deleted from the database.
They're gone. All right. So let's review our next one. So incident list layout. Guess what I do with those? Review and retain because I don't care what the new layout is. I've customized it and I'm happy with the layout I've got.
Sure.
A property. All right.
Is that your text search engine? TS? That version? Why would that have been modified by anyone other than the
Yeah,
update?
by anyone. Let's see what it changed.
I'm guessing it's just like old version to new version. Yeah, that's our Zing search engine.
So it
From
changes the
Aspen
value from
to Calgary.
it changes it to Aspen, and currently we're on Calgary. I don't think I'm going to be touching this.
I don't know.
So
You might have had some things that went wrong in Calgary.
So I'm going to decide to retain that one.
The things you discover when you start looking close.
Defer component attribute. Well, I definitely mess with some attributes. Let's take a look at this one.
I want to go look at one of my other instances that hasn't been upgraded to see what that property is.
Well, that hasn't been upgraded to Paris.
Yeah, glide.ts.version. Is that what it was? Yeah, mine's set to Calgary too. What do you know? On Orlando. Whatever that means.
Why don't I have? Oh, skipped error. What's
Yes,
the
you
error?
had some skipped errors.
What's the error? And why can't I see like
The
I
record.
feel like there's details I'm not seeing on this entry. I want to get to the history entry.
Yeah, it seems like this flow could be a little more optimized. I don't know if that's an implementation thing or an education thing on our part.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like maybe I just don't know. That was
Know who to ask.
defer component attribute, skipped error, and component attribute. So you see, I can handy dandy get to the task here, but not to this record. It doesn't contain any more details, but let's just go take a look at the record and see who modified it and see if I care.
It's in your
Updated by Tectonic.
Oh, really?
Good job, Tectonic. I'm gonna leave that one alone then. So my disposition for this one is leave it alone. And this one, I think, was one of the error ones as well. Yep. We're gonna.
So does that mean it will show up as an error on your next upgrade as well?
Good question. So what will happen for sure now is that I'll be able to see this disposition for next time, what I did last time. So if it does show up as an error, I could have noted in here, like I could have put a little comment like, I have no idea why this errored, nor do I care. Post.
But I'll take it.
And then next time, what will happen is when I open up this entry next time, it doesn't show it to me here. Oh, good. It just took a second to load. Excellent. I was disappointed, and then it just took a second. So what you'll see here is next upgrade, whether or not that's a full family or even a patch, that this entry shows up and generates a task. It will show me this existing one here in the related list, and so I can see what I did to it last time, and so this is brand new. So this concept of the disposition history is brand new. So previously, there was nothing captured to update sets during your the disposition of the actual like entries didn't do anything. What you did was captured. So for example, here when I open up one of these and I click the UI action to say like revert to base system, the reverting that application file to base system is stored in an update set.
Mhm.
But what isn't stored is that this entry in the skipped list that changed its resolution from not reviewed to reviewed and reverted was not retained. But now these task entries, those are retained and put into update sets. And so you can combine that update set of the decisions and why
Right.
I did them plus the actual actions
The what as
all
well as the
together.
why. Yeah. But what is
Yeah,
what
that
is
is
the
nice.
what is the upgrade details related link bring you to on this page?
I have no idea. I've not clicked that one. Oh, it
So-
takes me to the record.
Okay, so
Oh,
that
there you
smooths
go.
things out a bit.
Nice. It does.
Okay.
That makes me happy.
we can cancel that.
Yeah, we
PNG.
can cancel that request. And you even called it out. You were like, maybe we just don't know. And so that was an excellent
Generally,
call out.
the answer is we don't know.
And so let's take a look at this last system property. And so for the most part, system properties, I leave them as they are.
Yeah, because you may have
I meant
modified them and said,
I
"Hey,
meant
this
to
is
hit
the way I need my
click.
system to run."
Resolved. And yeah, we're going to leave this. This one actually doesn't even have any changes. In fact, it says, hey, there are no differences found. So that just means we modified it and then put it back at some point.
Oh, so it could have been
And
something
so-
subtle as this. Well,
So we tagged it for a change and then we reverted that change back to the original, but it was still, the application file is marked as
Mhm.
you have modified this. So ServiceNow is not going to mess with it. So we could revert this one back to base system if it gave me the button, but it doesn't seem to give me that choice.
You know what else would have been fun is to run a health scan before we did our upgrade too.
Oh, that would have been fun. So I'm going to say I'm going to review and revert that. I haven't done it yet. And to be clear, sliding these tasks does not execute those UI actions. So reviewed and reverted, like revert to base system, that UI action that sets this task to review and reverted, moving the task to reviewed and reverted doesn't actually execute that UI action.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
You still.
Well, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but
This is telling
we
somebody,
understand.
here's the work to be done. We've reviewed everything. Now you go through the ones that you want to revert. You go through the ones you want to merge. And theoretically, by the time you're done with all of these, you're done.
So I could have had, one of the team members come and choose their choices, and then might have someone else come and review them before they're actually executed.
Yeah.
Right. So the reviewed and reverted, we might have someone actually come and check again that those are the decisions we actually want to do, and then come and open these up and click the UI action to actually revert it. So that is something that you could work out as a team, especially for higher priority ones, higher risk ones. Is basically the priority list here is about risk.
Mm-hmm.
So 5s, probably just go ahead and whoever touches these, go ahead and resolve them. But like priority 1s, you might have someone task them originally. Like we'll put Kristen to task it to make a first pass, and then our architect or senior team member actually come and say, yes, we're actually going to do that.
Yeah, you could do your assignments any way you feel like, based on priority or based on what lane it lands in, or yeah, nice.
So that is the upgrade history, which is great. So what we should be able to do is I created an update set. And so we should see those, both the revert to base system entries and the the task details here. So we've got our upgrade details, and we've got modifying that. So we actually did revert this one. And so there's an entry for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yay. I had in here what I expected to have in here. I like it when I get what I expected. And previously, the only thing in this update set would have been this bottom one, because that's the only one where I actually used one of those UI actions to revert to base system or merge or whatever. And then the details of what I did to those didn't get captured or passed along to my higher level instances. So I couldn't go back in time and see, hey, what did I do to this last time? And a lot of us exported that stuff out and saved it so that we could do that in the future. But we didn't have a good way in the platform to do that until now. So this is really exciting for me. So we have done our review for our upgrade. So we ran I ran our tests, and we have done our upgrade summary review and checked out all our skipped lists. And so now I can close that update set, move it into our next tier instance, and then run the upgrade on that, and then apply that update set, and I should be good to go from that aspect. The next and last thing that I wanted to really highlight that's new in this upgrade center isn't something we can actually do, but I want to show it to you anyway, which is upgrade preview, which will look fairly similar to the upgrade summary after you execute it. And what this does is it will connect with Hi and ask Hi, hey, what instances are available for this instance to upgrade to? So whatever you'd see as choices when you go to Hi to schedule an upgrade, that will show up here. And we're on the highest version right now, so there are no choices for us to preview to. But you could choose both a patch, so you can choose the next patch or, 2 patches forward if those are available, and the next family release. And then you hit execute, this go button. And what that does is it will, it'll give you an estimate of how long it will take. So based off of other customers who have gone from the version you're on to the version you select, it will give, and some information about your instance, it will give you an estimate of how long that upgrade will take. And then after it's done, the preview calculation, it will give you a very similar screen to the upgrade screen, the upgrade summary screen.
Nice.
So it will look very much like this, the upgrade monitor screen, the summary one, because it's basically doing the same thing. It's just not executing it. So it's performing all of the same actions it normally does during the upgrade, except for it doesn't actually commit to the database any of those changes. It just says what it's going to do. And so you'll see how many skipped records you have, the priority of them, how long the upgrade should take roughly, how many changed records, and so you'll get an idea of how long it will take you to triage and actually, plan for your next upgrade. It's always interesting when we get one of these enhancements for upgrades that I can't actually use this yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I saw this one, I thought it's going to be really helpful for customers that don't have many instances, like especially the ones that have 2 or 3. And it can be kind of difficult to isolate one of those subprods or your only subprod and get it upgraded. So this kind of cuts down on that upgrade time, because you can say, I'm not quite ready to upgrade dev yet, but let's look at the preview and at least see where I'm going to get affected the most in this next upgrade.
And so to that point, Brad, one of the things that I did when I had a bunch of instances is I would just say, even before I'm ready to do the upgrade, I would just clone one, do the upgrade, and then check out the impact. So I'd run my ATFs and look at my skip list and sort of gauge how how likely it is I could do this upgrade soon or not, and then just quickly revert that clone back without really impacting our process. But if you don't have, a bunch of instances, then that's harder. So if you only have the 2 or 3 instances that a bunch of customers have, it can be very difficult to just say, I kind of like to get a gauge in the wind of how much work we've got to do for this upgrade. And this offers that up. What I was going to look at something based off of that around the history. So like I said, it's sort of a little weird when we do an upgrade that an improvement to the upgrade process that you don't necessarily get that immediately. And so it's a little hard to describe that to other people. So when this customizations unchanged was added, I think it was, I feel like Jakarta.
I think so.
No. Yeah, it was in that time period.
Yeah.
But it wasn't useful until the upgrade you did after that upgrade. Because it took a snapshot at your first upgrade after that enhancement was added. It took a snapshot then and then allowed you, because previously all of these skip lists would have been over here to review. All 135 of these, every single upgrade, even if ServiceNow didn't change anything for those, it would show up. And we'd have to triage those and figure out which ones we actually had to review. And so when they added that, I was so excited because I had built something to do the same thing. And so I was so excited to have that in the platform for everybody. But it was a little hilarious to explain. This is going to be really useful to you, your first upgrade after your first upgrade that's after Kingston.
You got to start.
And so this upgrade preview will be very useful to you, the first upgrade after your Paris upgrade.
Yeah, whether that's a patch or your Quebec upgrade.
Right. And if you go from Orlando to Quebec, it'll still be your first upgrade after Quebec.
Maybe we can show that to you sometime in September. We can come back to that later after we get patch 1 online.
That's right.
And we can come back and visit that. So that's it for me that I needed to do for our production upgrade. So I think I'm ready for that. Is there anything else that you guys saw that you wanted to touch on, or you want to drop out of share? Because I accomplished my goal, which was get myself ready for the upgrade. Take a drink.
We do have one more question from Sam in the chat. He says, when are we going to get health scan as part of the upgrade? Also, can you talk about health scan and how you handle the report, or is this going to be another happy hour episode?
Good question. So health scan. So there's 2 components to health scan. There is a engagement with our professional services customer success team on really diving deep into the details of the health scan of your instance and helping you figure out a plan to resolve them. And then there is a lighter level of that, which is to give you some indication of the score of the instance. And I believe that it's slated soon on the platform to be able to run on demand that score level 1.
Yeah.
And so there will be an API for that that you can invoke either through a scheduled job, a UI action, a business rule, a precursor to an upgrade, at the end of a sprint, for a sprint review, however you want to implement that, you can do so because it'll be API available for you to access that health scan area. But we can't share a lot of it right now because it's not something that's in the system today. Unless I missed it in Paris release.
Nope.
I didn't.
It's not there yet.
So awesome. I will stop my screen share. And so y'all have done more upgrades than at least more families, gone through more families than I have. But I have been through some monster upgrades on the platform with 20,000 application file skipped reviews.
Wow. Yeah, I think my first upgrade was fall 2008 to winter 2009, back when we named them after the seasons. But what's funny is I don't think I've actually been through an upgrade in probably, I don't know, like 8 years. So sometimes looking at the upgrade functionality, it doesn't really dawn on me, how helpful it is until like now, like the VTB, all this extra visualization of skipped records, and then being able to come back to it in the next upgrade and figure out why you skipped. I think I have a new appreciation for some of this upgrade functionality in Paris after having watched the little demo here.
It feels very analogous to like when we got Guided App Creator or Studio onto a lot of these things that accelerated and made it easier and automated a lot of the things that you did manually. I mean, just remember making a table when you had to go into number maintenance and set up your own number. Now it's a checkbox. Like, really?
It's a checkbox.
Okay. You can do 45 minutes worth of work in about 5 minutes now. That's an improvement. That's a better experience for everyone. And we want to shorten those upgrade life cycles so that you get to the next release sooner, you get the value for your investment, and you play with a whole bunch of new toys as a developer. So, win, 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 win.
So tomorrow I've got my blog on the developer site, developer.servicenow.com, for the Upgrade Center improvements. And some of the resources that I link there for folks to use is we've got some upgrade checklists and best practices from our customer success center. What else is useful there? I think the most important decision I ever made as a platform owner was no new features. So when doing my upgrades, I actually like to limit the number of new features that I enable at the upgrade time and separate out those new features, whether or not it's new, core platform feature or a new feature in one of the software products. I like to hold off on implementing those, but still have them planned, still be ready for them, and they're still moving along the pipeline. But I separate those out from the upgrade and really drove at the customer I work at to a non-event. Upgrades being a non-event. So we actually got to that point where we went from something like a 2-month upgrade cycle and time and process to 3 weeks.
Nice.
End to end from when we decided we were going to do an upgrade to it's deployed in production. So that's the upgrading the sub-productions, running the testing, planning, communications, everything end to end was 3 weeks. And we lowered the communications we sent out because there was less need to notify people because there was less drastic changes. And then post upgrade, we'd have some big feature release upgrades or releases. Yeah. So that new feature that we wanted to do the upgrade to get, that would be 2 and 3 weeks out from the upgrade so that it could be separated and prioritized and treated as its own important deployment, and really separated out that this is an upgrade issue versus this is a new feature. And really helped our customer base and our support teams really understand the difference between those two things, and gave a lot of clarity to, oh, our upgrade process is actually pretty good. We were also just introducing lots of new things, new features and experiences and things, which, drives that costs customer service time, right? So, and then that makes it seem like upgrades are scary because we have an increase in customer service. But when you say, I had a new cool release of this feature and that had associated customer service, you're like, oh, well, it's a new thing. That makes sense. It's supposed to be that way. And it made our users happier, I think. And from what we evaluated them, that they kept that separate. So that was one of my best plans, I think, and really made my upgrades a lot easier because making them a non-issue. And then you can focus time and attention on that new thing you're releasing and make that a separate experience. And it really helps a lot. So cool. That was awesome. Anything else to share upgrade-wise?
Sage advice, man, who knows?
So I love getting the new features. So I like upgrades because then I can plan to release new features. And I like the new features. I've really enjoyed I don't think I have to share too much about it. These are good. I need to find some more of them. Brad, how was your drink today?
Yeah, my Carbach Vivacella. It was excellent. I'll give it a solid 4.
A solid 4. Nice. How about you, Chuck?
Still digging the grapefruit Radler.
Yay, Radler.
I'm giving that a 4 as well.
Nice. And these haven't changed. They're still a 4-5. These things are fantastic. Good job, Charleston. You're a winner. Those are delicious. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, want to say that we'll put the link to Chuck's new podcast here on the show. I'll get that in there tomorrow. And we've got the Upgrade Center blog releasing tomorrow. You had a blog on Tuesday, right, Brad?
I did. I had a blog on automated test framework and the new features in Paris, which skewed pretty heavily to custom UI tests and page inspector, and just kind of improving the experience there.
It's getting pretty well fleshed out now.
Mm-hmm.
ATF is, so it's pretty nice. Pretty nice product now.
Now we need some test steps for Workspace.
I think there are some, right?
Are there?
I believe there are.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do a custom UI thing for Workspace.
I'm not sure.
Custom, yeah.
I know you can do it, but that might be custom.
I don't know.
I store in my brain that I can do it.
I know the drop down that says, is this service portal or is this UI page? It doesn't include Workspace, so it's not there.
Yeah. So yeah, that drop down got more options, but Workspace is still not there. Well, there's a custom one, but it doesn't. So the custom UI stuff still doesn't support like Shadow DOM,
right?
Which is a lot of what Workspace is. So, but there are some Workspace steps. I'm 90% sure.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone who watches this today or later. We appreciate your time, and I'm glad tomorrow I'm upgrading my production instance
with confidence.
With confidence. So I've run my tests. I've done my script review. I'm ready to go. So thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a great day.